Hi, we're here at Heritage Day at the Grange, and we're going to go around talking to the entertainers about their various events they're doing for the entertainment at Heritage Day. Hi, we're here with Dorking District Motorcycle Club. I've got Martin here, who's going to tell us a bit about what they're about. So, over to Martin.
Yes, good to be here today. The Motorcycle Club does quite a few of the little shows round, particularly on these sort of things which are put on by charities. The Motorcycle Club was formed in 1954. I didn't join until around about 1959, 1960, which dates me. It grew fairly quickly, although it's a relatively small club as all things go, but it punched above its weight, and it used to do very well, used to form and organise trials. It used to do road trials as well. Some of the members got into road racing at a very early stage, and the advantage of it is that back in the late 50s and early 60s, a lot of the members then used to work on the farms, etc., around at Westcott, Abinger. In the country areas, there's the farms, there's the estates, the forestry, and the advantage of it, they had land that they could practice on to get good at trials, and they really did get good. And at the same time, Dorking started staging quite a lot of events for the Open to the Centre events, and they've got quite a name. They also did road trials as well, and they did a long distance one, the Dorking to Dorset, which was overnight, some through green lanes, all with 6-volt lights. It was only run for about 3 years because the logistics of it were quite difficult. It has grown over the years, and we've got probably about 80 members now. We do quite a lot in terms of how can I put it, road runs out. Some of the members do green laning, which is off-road. One of the bikes over there is a green laner, a Triumph there, which belongs to Chris. Some of them do road racing. This bike over here is Chris's, again, and he won a championship on that. That's all the cups that are there inside.
Wow.
This bike here is a 50cc item, which was one of the first ones in the country and one of the first ones to start doing 50cc racing. That was way back in the early 60s, and that belongs to John Snow. That's Sue Snow, his wife, over there.
Okay. So I'm here with this lady here. Just come here. Could you tell me about who you are and what you do?
Okay.
And please.
Okay, so my name is Caroline Small, and I work in glass, all things glass, and I won the commission from Eloise to create an art installation at the Grange.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Eloise was quite keen on stained glass.
Yeah.
But she wanted something that went in the garden. So what we did is we came to the Grange and we ran 3 days of workshops. And everybody, from the staff to everybody who lives here and anybody who works here, we all made these 15 centimetre tiles, which you can see in the panels. So everybody made one. And then I took them back to my workshop and I fused them all together. And then I put them in these leaded canes, and now you can see them in your garden.
Fantastic. Oh, you mentioned Eloise. I know quite a lot of people may have heard, but if you don't know, Eloise was the ex-chief exec of the Grange.
Yes. And she wanted something she wanted to commission some artwork because the creative arts here are very important to everybody who is here, and it's a beautiful place. And you have lots of things like pottery, but you'd never done any glass work. So we basically wanted to bring some glass into your creative team as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you live in a wonderful place.
I certainly do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm just here with Giles from Tulip. Can you tell us all about Tulip, what it was about, and how it came into fruition?
Yeah, so the organ was sort of originally built in the 1920s, so it's just over sort of 100 years old now. And it's always sort of played on the streets over in Holland, where years ago it would have been sort of like you can see in the picture here, sort of like in a three-wheel hand sort of barrow where they'd push it through the streets years ago. It originally came from Leiden in Holland. And yeah, family used to use it, sort of, earning a living with the organ, where there'd usually be sort of 3 or 4 people would go out with the organ and they'd wind the organ by hand, and they'd have like a collection tin in front of the organ, to sort of get people to put money in. And then my dad and I went over to Holland just over 20 years ago now and saw it on the streets over there playing, and they were looking to sell the organ, and we sort of purchased it and brought it back to England, and now we sort of take it to sort of different events like this, and shows and private sort of weddings and parties and that, and and sort of entertain people when we come.
Wonderful. How do the songs get programmed in?
Yeah, so and we have quite a large selection of music which we still sort of add to each year. You can sort of still get whatever's sort of a modern song now, whatever's sort of number one in the charts now. You can still get arranged for the organ. It usually goes to an arranger. They arrange it to play on an organ. Then you go to someone else that can cut it to play on the organ. Usually the books, you can't swap it with another organ. Usually the books are for a specific organ, like for this, but it's good because obviously it keeps the organ a little bit current, where you can still play modern sort of songs on the organ, as well as sort of like wartime songs and that as well, so we can cater for sort of all generations and that as well.
It's an amazing piece of kit.
Yeah, it's something a little bit different, isn't it? Obviously, usually you get sort of, 3 different styles of organs. You get a street organ, which obviously initially was on the streets. You get a fairground organ, which is usually obviously played in the fun fair, where it's sort of usually quite a lot louder and harder sounding, because obviously years ago they'd usually be in different rides and they'd compete against each other to obviously, draw the crowd in. And then you've got dance organs as well, that used to sort of obviously be inside. Usually they're a little bit quieter, and they'd be for more like cafes and that as well. But we always preferred the street organ because they're a little bit sort of mellower and sort of sweeter sounding.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
No problem at all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm joined by these 2 lovely people that do drumming, and your name is?
My name is Alex.
And your name is?
I'm Kumba.
And your drumming organisation is?
Kyra Kafo is the name of the drumming organisation. Yeah.
Any of you tell me about the organisation, how it evolved?
Okay, so we've been doing it for a number of years now. We travel a lot in Africa, and Kumba's from Africa. And so we brought a load of drums back about 10 years ago. And we just kind of used them, to show people about the music of West Africa. Travel around to schools and nursing homes and all over the country, really, just to kind of share how great the music is, really.
That was amazing. Anything you want to add to that, Kumba?
I do dancing, obviously. I start doing this drumming all by Alex. So for main thing, what I do is usually dancing and singing. So I engage myself with doing the drumming so we can work together and make it work. So, yeah.
And can you do a little demo?
Of course,
please?
Yeah, a little demo of the... So we'll just do it with the break. We'll just do a little bit of the rhythm that we've been sharing with people here today.
Yep.
Which is called cuckoo. Probably you don't want to hold that too close because it'll probably blow
It's
the
loud.
sound. Okay, so...
Perfect.
No problem, our pleasure.
So thank you both for coming along and enjoy the rest of your day.
Of course.
And happy drumming.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for having
And dancing as well.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
And thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all for coming here at the Grange to Heritage Day. It was such a lovely day. And thank you to all the entertainers that we spoke to provide the entertainment. And thank you for listening and watching.